The basis of the fire is these 3 stones, as you can see here. And why do nomads use 3 stones? The answer is it's very, very efficient. Now we've got a cooking pot here, and you can see the stones form a platform for the pot to sit on. And at the same time, you can actually push the firewood piece by piece under the pot. You really need a layer of air, a thin layer of air between the flame and the bottom of the pot, and that makes it much more efficient. And of course you need very little firewood to cook a meal with this method. The first thing is the stones have to be in a triangular shape. They have to be close enough together, as we've seen, to put the pot on, but yet far enough apart so we can push the firewood underneath. Second step, you see we've got 3 kinds of fuel here. First of all, we've got our fire bush, our tinder. Secondly, we've got small pieces of wood, twigs. This is kindling. The third thing is firewood, okay, the larger pieces of wood. Now, the way to make a fire is to build it up very slowly. We start with the tinder, we go on to the kindling, we place the kindling on piece by piece, very, very carefully and calmly. We have to respect the fire, not be afraid of the fire, we don't throw the firewood on, we have to respect it, but not be afraid of it. Let's start with the fire bush, the tinder, we place that between the stones. Okay, so you hold the matchbox in your left hand, in my case, the match in the right hand. Okay, now you strike the match downwards, not upwards as most people do. This is the way the nomads do it, and also the way we were taught in special forces. Okay, so hold the match down and strike it downwards, okay, like this. This means you can then cup it in your hand, as you see I'm doing, which means if it's windy, it doesn't get blown out, or it shouldn't do. Then we hold the match underneath the fire bush. Say you have to do this with patience, little by little. Don't rush it. Just make sure it's going. When it gets going, we've got a bit of wind, which helps. Okay, now it's got some flame. We can start putting on the kindling. Notice I start with a very small piece, lay it carefully on the flames. Okay, another small piece on the flames. Okay, do it piece by piece where it's burning very carefully. Okay, so notice how I build it up very carefully and very slowly, piece by piece. There's no dumping the wood on the fire. If you do that, then the fire will be smothered and it will go out. The idea of this is not to make just the biggest fire possible, a bonfire, something like that, just for the sake of it. You know, this has a specific purpose, and that's why we use the stones, and that's why we use the wood very economically. Fire's going quite well now. We've got the firewood going, put on larger pieces. The fire's going well. It's actually quite hot, and we're going to have to let the fire burn down a little bit once it's going. We could take that one out. Why do we do that? So we can put the pot on top. So there we've got our pot, our cooking pot. Pour water into the pot, and there we have our cooking fire.